Hello, hello, and welcome to another full moon ceremony. I'm Safrianna Luna, the Queer Spirit Guide, and as always, I'm so delighted to share these spaces with you, whether you are here in the live energy or you are here watching the replay. Know that I'm always holding you in this space and time wherever and whenever you are. So, we are here tonight to celebrate and tune into the energy of a full moon in Aries and to really reflect on these last few weeks since our new moon and just, to tune in for a moment, to touch base with ourselves, set some new intentions, clear our energy, have a journey, get some wisdom downloads, and then move on and go about our lives, right? These are touch points for us to really anchor into ourselves and be here now. I was having a conversation with a friend this morning, and we were talking about these ceremonies and just how time can get to this point of feeling like it's flying all the time and there's just always so much happening. And especially, I don't know, tell me, like, has it felt like a blur and a whirlwind for you these last 2 weeks or so? Because I know it has for me. It's been this nonstop action and momentum and energy building, which has been fantastic, but it's also been a lot. And there's been a lot of just feeling drained and exhausted because of all of the action and momentum. So it's kind of been a blur. So I'm curious what your experience is. And as always, if you're here, feel free to say hi in the chat if you'd like. But this particular moon, first of all, if you have not gone out to see it, I was driving somewhere last night and it was looming overhead while it was still daylight out, and it was just gorgeous. This is actually the biggest supermoon of the year, so that means that the moon is closest to us in its orbit, so it looks bigger than it normally does. It is just stunning. So I highly suggest, if you can do a little moon bathing, this is a great one to do it with. But this Aries energy is really bringing with it a powerful purposefulness. And I know I'm like really getting into my goals right now, which is interesting because we're going into fall. Well, we're in fall, we're going into hibernation season here. Everything's starting to slow down as we build towards that hibernation. And yet, there's been this energy of really focusing on purpose and who we are and why we are here right now, what's truly authentic to us. And with that comes a lot of shadow work energy, a lot of shadowy realms for us to delve into, which can feel really uncomfortable. But this full moon is really urging us to do that and to confront those things so that we can shine. Oh, welcome, Maran. So glad you could join live. Yeah, this energy is really like, it's first of all the hunter's moon is what it's known as. And it's like there's an offer that is here for us right now. I don't know what that is for you in your life, but maybe consider that for a moment. Like, what am I really being offered right now to take advantage of, to move forward with, to go with the flow with? What is the universe like? Here, you want this? It's ready for you. So what is that for you? And maybe there is something here for you with that right here and now. So with this Aries energy, I'm going to pop this in the chat as well. There is definitely an energy about embracing our challenges and really asserting like what our truth and our independence is, as well as taking care of our physical bodies. This has been a theme that has been coming up really powerfully for me over the last 48 hours. So when I tuned into this today, I was like, oh, it's all coming together. So there have been obstacles. There are lots of obstacles in the world right now, but can we see them as opportunities? Can we grow stronger from them? How do we gain a new capacity and a new resilience? Because we need that to stand together against all of the bullshit that's out in the world right now, quite frankly, right? We need to stand together in community and grow stronger together and more resilient together. So, this Aries energy is here to support that. The independence is not a toxic independence. It's owning our leadership. It's not following blindly, but really standing firm in who we are and our unique path while, being able to still be supported in a community. When I say asserting your independence, it is again not this like toxic individualism. It's like, this is who I am in the community. These are my gifts in the community, and I'm going to own that. And then this last piece of wisdom from this particular moon and this Aries energy is really like the ram. Get out there, ram the roads, right? But like on foot, like walk, go hike through nature, exercise, dance, like really move your body right now, because that's what this energy is calling for, is to really nourish your body temple. So, we're in an Aries energy right now. We're moving into a Taurus by Friday. And so I really see this invitation of rooting into our plans around our physicality, both our homes and our physical bodies, and how we're going to take care of them. So that's the sort of energy update for this particular moon. I'm going to drop in the chat some intention setting statements, and I invite you to go ahead and consider writing down an intention. So I have my journal here. I'm going to do this as well. But an intention, something like, in the coming weeks, I will, I'm ready to, I choose to, just something that really embraces the energy you're calling in, the energy you're letting go of, just to acknowledge your intention here in this present moment. So let's go ahead and take a moment to do that. And as always, if you feel like sharing this, you are more than welcome to, whether that is in the comments or in a private message. So my intention, I was thinking about that, like what's offered. So my intention is to just choose to accept the gift that is here for me now, and an intention to really move towards honoring my body in a new way. So I'm going to go ahead and start to get my smoke cleansing bundle ready to roll here. And you might notice, as you begin to write down some intentions or even consider your intentions, what I call blips. These little thoughts or feelings that come in that say, like, no, you can't do that. No, that's not for you. Or, just a naysaying voice. And that's what we're going to clear here. So we're just going to begin. You can still be journaling here. You don't have to do anything differently, other than just begin to get curious about what you can release, what's ready to be let go of right here and now. And releasing and clearing our energy is a continual process. We come back to it again and again and again. This is normal. It's part of the journey. But just right here and now, what is heavy? Maybe weighing in your gut, or swirling a little bit of shame or fear. Can you just release that? Can you just be here with the gift that is being offered? And I invite you to just let the inhale be an active inhale where you call yourself back home to you. And the exhale lets go of anything that is not of you, not for you. Inhale, calling you home. Exhale, letting go and releasing. Releasing, releasing, releasing on behalf of the collective here. Anyone who is ready to let go of some shame, some fear, some disappointment, a feeling of chaos or unease or unhealth. Releasing, releasing, releasing. We have the power to anchor in new energies. So just seeing yourself here, this wave of light, you here and now contributing to the energy of love, peace, compassion, ease all across the world. And as you let go, as you exhale anything out of alignment, just feel yourself begin to ease somewhere in your body if you can. Maybe it's the hands, maybe it's the thighs, maybe it's your jaw. Maybe it's your shoulders, just allowing there to be a little bit more ease somewhere in your body as you continue to release anything that feels like it could hold you back from really stepping into this next level, this next layer. Yeah. So maybe just taking one more nice deep breath, perhaps your deepest of the day. Just letting out a sigh, maybe wiggling the shoulders, shaking out the hands and arms, maybe sweeping the energy a little bit just to clear out that last bit. So, we're going to go into a guided visualization here. Afterwards, I will be doing a collective card reading on our shadows. Warning, heads up. And in this visualization, I always like to give the caveat in case you are unfamiliar with me and my work that if I begin to speak in a non English language, these are just sounds and syllables, frequencies meant to clear or tune in an energy, and you get to receive or not receive it as you wish. These sounds come from my higher self, sometimes called light language or glossolalia, and it is always brought through with the highest love and healing energy behind it. So, just like to share that. So, I also like to say that you get to receive this experience however you want. Your eyes can be opened or closed. You can be doing art. You can get up and move your body. That is one of the joys of having this format is you get to do whatever you need to do in your space. So be my guest and, take this in however you want. Some people have channeled entire art pieces or written very profound journals all while coming in and out of the meditation. There's no right or wrong with this. If you don't attach to something I say, that's totally okay. You will get what you need to. So, however, you're going to receive this, again, eyes opened or closed, I just invite you to begin to tune into the breath. And we're going to consciously begin to move from our thinking mind down into our heart centers, sinking like a stone into the heart. And from here, in this heart space, we'll expand with the breath as we also call in an unconditionally loving moment. Perhaps a moment with a beloved animal companion or a beloved human or even something in nature. Just a person, place, or thing that brings this expanded awareness that love is here for you now. And as we tune into this loving moment, a portal begins to open from within the heart, revealing the supermoon overhead. You can see mountains in the distance, and you can see a path that's clearly laid out for you right inside the portal. So as you feel ready, you step through onto this path. Begin to look around, seeing the moon overhead, taking in where you are in nature. But the path is actually pretty clear. You can tell where it's going, and as you begin to follow it forward, you realize that this is a path that you built for yourself, that your higher self built for you here and now. And as you begin to walk along, taking in this path, taking in the sights around you, you hear the sound of hooves as you are joined by a ram. And the most fascinating thing you immediately notice about this ram, as soon as you take the picture in, is that their horns are ablaze with fire. This is truly the embodiment of the Aries ram. And the ram moves ahead of you on the path, looking back. It might even seem to smirk. And then turns back to the path and begins to blaze the trail forward. Now you get to decide if you follow, if you move up aside, if you shapeshift, or if you lead. But as you and the ram move forward down this path, more details begin to emerge. Scenes, dreams, goals, images, your desires ahead of you. You begin to see glimpses of where this path is leading you. With the help of Grandmother Moon, with Mother Earth, and with this ram spirit, you realize that you're able to walk a little more quickly ahead, to see a little more of the dreams, the goals, the aspirations, the desires that drive you forward on your path. What do you know to be true for you? What is core to who you are? What path are you to be the trailblazer of? You get to decide. You get to choose what is authentic for you. You know deep down what is authentic for you. You designed your blueprint. So as you walk ahead, allow these dreams, these desires to surface for you. And if there's any blockages, any smog or confusion that seems to block the way, the ram can run right in with their blazing horns and clear that smog away, clear whatever blockage is there. That is why you have these guides, these companions in this journey. We all need some help. And yet, we're all individuals, each with our own dreams and aspirations. So, again, just allowing whatever messages or images are here to show you what's on the path ahead for you. See what you can allow to surface. And if no images become clear, just allowing your body to anchor into the sensations that you want in the future. Perhaps ease, levity. Perhaps you see yourself laughing, playing. These images might not be super concrete. They might not have a to-do list attached to them. It might just be a feeling of what's coming for you, an idea. Whatever is here for you, you get to claim it now. You get to claim it. Yes, this is for me. Yes, I am a yes for this. This is my desire. This is what I'm driving towards. This is the path that I'm trailblazing. Breathing in whatever is here for you as you and the ram continue forward on the path. Kashuemananaya katashiokusi katayamana kashwasa. Hyomaya katayagaya nawashia siakomasia katayaka. Hyakushtianania katayo shamasia keakayo emanakaya. Hyananayo shtoya katayaka. The path begins to circle back as things are really sinking in, even if it's just a thread, a seed of what's to come. There is a sense of levity, a sense of opening in your heart for the goodness that gets to come ahead for you, the goodness that's down the road. You get to orient to your dreams, to your desires. You don't have to keep orienting to your fears and what you don't want. This is your permission to blaze forward with determination and courage to seek the path that is yours and no one else's. And yes, people will join you on your path. People will pave their paths beside yours. People will overlay their path from time to time. You are not alone in this. You are not alone in this. Hikataya shasiya kuasya saimanaya kataya katashua manaka. Kiasya kasyamo esisya kata. You are not alone in this, and yet you are a brave and bold individual here to forge your path. And so proclaim and claim that as you can here in this present moment, saying yes to yourself, yes to your higher self, yes to your dreams and your desires. Just take a moment to acknowledge the moon overhead, this super moon, her light absolutely basking down on you, suffusing you with the knowing that you can do this. You can pursue your truth. You can pursue your dreams. And it gets to be easy. It gets to be fun. You do not have to be in conflict all the time with life. Accept that. And a moment of gratitude to the ram, this flaming Aries ram, for whatever wisdom they've brought forth, for whatever your journey looked like, as unique as you are. And then gratitude to Mother Earth for supporting you, holding you, allowing you to have this body and this experience that you get to take care of, that you are responsible for. And gratitude to yourself for showing up to do the work, showing up to continue to anchor into the present and expand in the now. And as you're ready, you'll find yourself at that portal of the heart. And when you're ready, you'll gently step back through, taking a nice deep breath, however you are. And if the eyes are closed, opening them in your own time and way as you gently bring some movement back into the body. Wiggling the fingers and toes, maybe twisting the spine. So just taking some moments here If you want to jot anything down, anything that came for you. And then I'm going to move right into doing a collective reading. And as always, you are welcome to share anything that came up for you if you would like, but there is never any pressure. So, I am drawing tonight from a card deck I've never drawn for the collective until sort of last night. And this deck is by a wonderful friend of mine, Kim Paget, Australia. Absolutely beautiful deck that she created for people to really be able to dive into their shadows and see what's kind of keeping them from aspects of their light. And I was blessed to be able to do ceremony with a sister's circle last night. And I had this deck out there, and people were just having some experiences when they finally flipped some cards. So, building community and home. Beautiful. And no need to thank me for the path. You built that path. It's here for you. Ooh, okay. What is keeping us from collective happiness? Oh man, I'm not prepared for this. All right. So this deck, if you are new to my world, then you're coming in at an interesting time. If you've been in my world a while, you've known that I am very um, involved in, interested in. I don't quite know how to describe it, but shadow work is very important to me. I was a, trained trauma therapist and a teacher and lived through all of my own trauma, so I know shadow from a trauma lens inside and out. But I didn't know that the shadow could be a good thing, that the shadow could be where we really experience our greatest gifts. And the the truth of it all, oh my gosh, I'm flipping these over and I don't want to interpret this. I'm about to call so many people out. I'm calling the collective out. So, and Kim is calling the collective out with me because she made this beautiful deck. So, what's keeping us from happiness is overthinking. First of all, just look at these beautiful ink art pieces. We have overthinking, we have Lucifer, and we have peacemaker. And this is really interesting. It's so interesting. So the reason that we're in this collective cluster right now is really ultimately from overthinking our power. We have long thought ourselves powerless because the system has taught us that we're powerless. And yet, if we stopped that cycle of overthinking and trying to peacemake by making everybody happy and people pleasing and not bucking the system and not pushing back against the relatives that are really problematic and not speaking up at that family dinner when somebody is bullied and, just silence all around, like it pervades in our very close lives, how can it not pervade in the collective level? So we're literally being called to take that action of authenticity and move forward with absolute vigor towards clearing out these completely stagnant, toxic, quite frankly, violent energies that are here in the collective right now. And that is where this Lucifer card really comes in, because Kim writes in the book, Better the Devil You Know. That is what so many of us settle into. We keep ourselves from genuine happiness because we are settling into a status quo of the devil we know, which isn't great. It's not great, right? It's playing the like lesser of evils game. And that's what we'll do. And we'll convince ourselves that the lesser evil is doing what we've always known to be true because we've been told that being us is wrong. So that is the radical message that's here for the collective, is we really need to own our stuff. And I normally don't read from the books. I just, intuitively channel, but I just want to read this because what Kim wrote is so powerful here. The archangel Lucifer is known as the light bringer, but is easily confused with Satan. Are you confusing what you think you know with what you really know and feel in your soul? As the last card in the deck, Lucifer shines light in the shadowy places on life's path, revealing the truth of every situation and lighting our way forward. As we move forward on life's journey, we develop habits and routines to make ourselves or our lives easier and more comfortable. But life is constantly changing, and what has worked in the past may not be working now. Old habits can die hard, and routines can be hard to break. However, if your old habits no longer work for you, it's time to let them go. Being unable or unwilling to see the error of your ways makes you your own worst enemy. So it goes on to say things like familiarity breeds contempt, and like you may be living in your own self imposed hell, and some very strong messages. And that's what blocks us from our happiness is overthinking ourselves into our own hell or trying to be a peacemaker to the point where we self-sacrifice, and sometimes both. So this is hopefully just an invitation to begin to move away from doing that, right? It's not easy to change these behaviors overnight. I feel so personally called out in this. Like, this was my very life story to the core 3 years ago, and I'm still working out of it. It's a spiral upward, right? But it is work. It takes work to stop these habits, to stop the status quo from winning, to stop the old ways, the old traditions, right, that need to die that we cling on to for dear life as if they're going to somehow save us. That is, we're letting that shit go. So, yes, I agree. Moran says all truth. That's what this time is all about. I completely agree. That is what we're here. We're here to anchor in happiness. Happiness is accessible to us. There is so much resource and abundance out there, and so many tools and so many things. And there's no reason that every person on this planet shouldn't have access to that except for greed. So, it's time for us to wake up to the fact that it doesn't need to be this way at a collective level, because if even 50% of people woke up to that reality, we could tip the rest of the system. I'd argue even 20% of us, really passionately working towards change. It takes loud voices sometimes, and we hear these loud voices of dissent and harm and cruelty so loud in the world right now, and they are blaring, and we need to be louder as a voice of love. So that is the invitation. So before we conclude tonight, I would love to invite you for one more invitation, which is if you spot this beautiful little stack of stuffed animals back here on November 2nd, it is a Saturday. Myself and the Living Luna team will be hosting the Bear Immersion online day retreat. So it's an event on Zoom from 11 to 5 with a lunch break in there that you can also have in community if you want, where we'll be doing mindfulness, meditation, art, journaling, a lot of what we do here in these moon ceremonies, but for a whole day together where we get to interact as a community in Zoom. But you can also keep your camera off and, be in the chat or not in the chat if you want. I'm always super flexible for what people are comfortable engaging with, but I'd love to invite you to that. It's super easy to get your ticket, and it's pay what you can, $11 or more. And it is going to be such a fun day. So if you'd like to join us, I'm dropping that link in the chat, and you can go and get your ticket. And otherwise, thank you as always for joining us for these ceremonies. I think they're so important to really stay on top of our energy. And that is why I am committed to being here each and every new moon and full moon as I can. So if you want to be notified and make sure you don't miss these live or know where to get the replay, you can sign up for auto alerts via email, and I'm posting that in the chat as well. I would love to have you here, and of course, the replays are always there for you. And last but not least, if you have the means and the desire to donate, please feel free to. You can do that at safrianna.com/donate. And I am so grateful to all of you who have contributed. It really means the world, because I do this completely for free because I love it, but I also am so appreciative of your support and encouragement of me continuing to do this work. So I will be back in a few weeks for our new moon. It is going to be Samhain, so we're going to be doing some Samhain stuff with that moon. And then the bear retreat is the next day. So I can't wait to have an incredible, energetic weekend with you for that Samhain celebration and the bear retreat, and just So happy to be in community with you. So until next time, my friends, I'm Safrianna Luna, the Queer Spirit Guide, and I am loving you fiercely and sending you all gentle waves of compassion.